Are we ready?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Warren, and I am excited about cyanotypes. I've fallen in love with this process. So I'm going to demo how to do it, so you have some idea what to expect in the workshop. Some call it sun printing, and for me it's photographic based. So I have what I call a digital negative that was printed on transparency, which is a whole nother explanation. I have a contact printing frame with a glass cover, and I have already coated my paper. It was coated with the cyanotype chemistry that is UV light sensitive. So take the paper, digital negative on it, and it has to be sandwiched in here. And I purposely made the digital negative a little bigger than the sheet of paper, so it can hang off. There we go. And it needs to be tight, so I'm going to use some clips. Now, we're ready to take it out in the sunlight, because this amount of light won't expose it. We need direct sunlight or a UV lamp. Sunshine. And I'm going to expose for about 6 minutes. That's kind of what I've come up with. If we have clouds come over, I'll give it an extra minute. It's not a fast exposure. So you just kind of watch it do its thing. We're not going to do that for. So 6 minutes later, in the sun, we're ready to rinse it, and that's when you'll see the image. So I need to take the piece of paper out, and you can faintly see the image, but we rinse it in plain water. The cyanotype chemicals are iron salts, and as it rinses, it's taking out the unexposed parts. So I just keep it, and it's going to need to rinse here about 5 minutes. Let's see. Darker. Are we video? Mm-hmm. As it rinses, some of the iron salts come out, but the image will come up, and can never evaluate it while it's wet. But after, I'm gonna say 3.5 to 4 minutes, you can really see the image. When I dry it, the blues will get deeper over the first 24 hours. And I did purposely make her face a little dark. You can add some hydrogen peroxide to this rinse water, and it'll bring up the blues. I don't often do that though. So I'm gonna transfer it to the other water. You don't want to overwash it because it will begin to fade the picture after, depending on the paper, 15-20 minutes. It'll start washing the cyanotype off. Often I let it dry before I do any toning. I'm going to wet tone this one. So I have instant coffee. And it's going to take 10 to 20 minutes to tone. You just check it, but you don't just leave it, because you'll get weird color bubbles. Okay, so I decided to wet tone this one in coffee. It's one of the botanicals or natural substances you can use, and it's going to take a while, but you can already see changes in the blues, deepening. Eventually it would get more brown, but it's a toning process, not a staining process. So that's a little coffee still in there. The paper white is not particularly taking up the toning coffee, but where the cyanotype chemicals are is changing. So that's the difference between toning and staining. And the longer I leave it, the more it will change to a brownish color like the coffee. Just pick up what I want. And it does need to mix a little bit. I like that color. It's nice. It's very nice.
You love it because
I love it because every print is different. You're doing it by hand, and there's a certain amount of just artistic decision. Do I want to tone this more? Do I not want to tone it more? Did I want to do some other things after it's dry? How did I coat the paper? All of those decisions. So I may reuse that digital negative, but the next print will be different. It will be unique.
So you don't know exactly what you're going to get.
No, and if you are trying to make two pictures go together so that you can frame them as a diptych, it may or may not come out that way. So after it's rinsed the coffee off, some people hang these to dry. I'm not crazy about that. So I put it on the pad. Great use for puppy pee pads.
And how long?
Hours. Okay, here's a larger one. And I have not toned it at all, but I did flatten it, I think. Oops. Okay, here's what you can do with the 4x6. It is a greeting card. I toned this one with coffee. I did bleach it some first. And then it is flattened and just mounted on cardstock. So it makes a wonderful card. This could also be put in a frame. It will make a lovely little framed piece. This is the same print, a little different paper, a little different toning. So it is a more reddish. So depending upon what you tone with, you can get different variations. They're all going to be very earthy though. And then this is another toned. So these two framed would make a nice little grouping.
Oh yeah, they would. And we're supplying cardstock at the workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they do need to dry completely. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you at this workshop, and you can have some lovely little artworks to frame, or they can be your pictures. You'll get instructions when you register so that you can have your pictures made into the cyanotypes you do in the workshop. Hope to see you there.